Okay, so
Yes.
everything in regards to the link building process has been over the last like 3 months or so where I've been going heavily on it. Now, the reason why is, as I explained earlier before we jumped on the call, is I recently redirected the entire website. So the site was specifically on golden retrievers and it was doing pretty well at that point. And I decided, I don't know, I got a wild hair up my ass or whatever it may be. And I wanted to expand the site into general dogs, you know, so I can just cover everything. So I wanted to make it an authority site, you know. So what I've done is I've redirected it, and as expected, like everyone has seen, and you know what I kind of projected anyway, is that it was going to take a dive. I knew that, you know, there's no way that I'm going to change everything and it's just going to be seamless. But what did happen is all of the authority was passed over very quickly, you know. So I redirected it via the htaccess file, and the site, like all the old links, obviously are redirected now, but the authority has been passed over as well. So the site currently from that 3-month period has gone from like a DA1 to a DA18, you know, in that time, which is a very short amount of time. Now, on average, again, based on the kind of criteria that Matt Diggity gives, he always, traffic is what kind of establishes how many links you can build, yeah, in my method. So if you're getting like 1,000 visitors per month, you can't go out and build like 500 links. It looks unnatural, yeah, because how is your site getting discovered at that scale if you're only getting a small amount of traffic? So the site still currently gets, throughout this whole process, about 18 to 20,000 visitors per month. Yeah. Prior to that, it was like at like 30,000 visitors a month. And yeah, so what's happening is quite a lot of my number one keywords, like my number one positions, are now coming back as well. I'm seeing a lot of that, and daily I'm getting substantial growth, you know, all the time. The earnings have taken quite a dive, as I explained earlier, but I do believe that will come back up and surpass where it was. And I've been currently building, just to keep it safe, around 2 links per week. So not a lot of links. So I only build about 8 links per month, you know, so it's not a lot. But as I said, obviously I could build quite a lot more based on the criteria that he's given, you know, in regards to 10,000 visitors per month. I think it was like something you could build 50 links, 50 links a month or a week or something like that. I'd have to look at it. But in regards to that, obviously that's quite a substantial budget you'd have to invest into that. So most of my budget right now, I think I've spent, since in the last 3 months, about $3,800 on just content, you know, so just really heavily on content. And then I've been plucking out two links a week and just hitting the site, like some of those articles, and bringing them up slowly and trying to, you know, and that's it.
So for roughly those 2 links per week, so 8 per month, do you have like a ballpark, like how much that's cost as far as your VAs that are working on that?
Yeah, no. So currently, like, to be honest, I don't have like a set amount that I'm willing to just work with or whatever. On average, these links, again, like they're not like high authority. We're talking like DA30s, DA40s at most. Yeah, that I've been building, and I can get that for about $100, $150, things like that.
Per link?
Yeah, per link.
Okay, got it. Okay, great.
Sometimes
And
it's a lot lower if they negotiate it, because I also get them to potentially try and get, obviously, link insertions, you know, like niche edits. So sometimes they'll say, okay, this is the cost for a link insertion, because they don't have to do much work. They just go and swap out a link on the article, or this is the cost for a guest post, you know. So sometimes I'm doing a guest post and sometimes I'm doing a link insertion. So the link insertions, a lot of the time, I might get them on average for like $40, you know, $30, things like that.
got it. And I was just, as a side note, I know a lot of people, they don't even buy into link building. So I'm glad that you're doing it. I know Matt. So obviously he's a link builder, you know, at heart, and enjoys
I
that
think you
side
can
of
do it.
SEO.
Like if you understand what you're doing, like if you're willing to learn and you understand, then you can stay safe. Because ultimately, even when you just have a genuine site that just gets links naturally, you're just essentially replicating that process. So if you've got like a good amount of traffic, and then the way he teaches is that you hit it with some social signals, then that kind of replicates the process of you getting established. Like some people, you're getting this traffic, you're now being shared on social media, and now you're getting links, so it's like that natural progression.
Definitely. And, you were like, I'm only getting a couple links here and there. And Matt encourages folks to, throttle it down and make sure you're not getting more links than your site is warranting based on traffic, which totally makes sense. But the threshold that you gave is, far more than what most people would even think about. They don't even have the budget or the time to get that many links. So yeah, if you can get whatever, 50 links per month, that's a pretty decent amount.
Yeah. But when
Overall.
he teaches you that, I mean, obviously using his strategies, because I never built up the site from the beginning using the methods that he uses. Usually, obviously, if you're getting the amount of traffic in regards to the methods that he teaches, if you're establishing those results, then the site will give you that budget to obviously reinvest. So you're ultimately just always making a reinvestment anyway.
Right. For the site that you moved over to, I guess the domain, was it a brand new domain, or did you buy an existing blog or anything?
Yeah, so the way this happened was really odd. I thought it was a new domain, but it ultimately wasn't. It was an expired domain, yeah, but it was being sold on GoDaddy as a new domain. And even when I purchased it, they didn't know, like the customer service, they were kind of like up in the air. And it took them like, I think 2 weeks to get the domain to me, because they were like, oh, we don't really know. Like, because I checked it on Wayback Machine and I could see that it had past history, but then it was being sold as a new domain. And they were like, we don't really know. Like, it was being sold on another marketplace. It wasn't even being sold on GoDaddy, but then it was listed on there as well. So I don't know whether they're pulling data from somewhere else and they sell domains via like whatever. It was also available to purchase from, was it Namecheap that I use regularly? It was available on there and it was available on GoDaddy. So I don't know whether it's on like a central hub. I don't know exactly how that all works with domains, but it wasn't a new domain, but it was listed as a new domain. Yeah. So I didn't really know though until I bought it. So after I bought it and it gave me like a message that I had never seen before, because I currently own like about 20 domains or something. Like I've just bought a few and built, because I've built sites for other people and stuff like that in the process, just some freelance work and whatever. Yeah, so like it gave me a message saying, oh, you need to wait for a transfer of ownership over to me. So I was confused and I contact customer service and then they said, we don't know. So they said, we're not really familiar with what's going on. And then we established that that was the thing. So I was even scared thinking, because I went and got a logo made and all these different things. And then they said, I wanted to be sure that I was going to get that name, especially because it's a really cool name. I'll tell you what the domain is after you can see it, but it's a really cool name, really short. Like you don't really hardly get these names, so I really wanted that domain and I managed to get it in the end anyway. So I got it. And then I was skeptical about, okay, now it's obviously repurposed. So is Google going to reward the site? And honestly, I couldn't have wished for anything better, because within the first 3 months, like I said, everything has been moving substantially. So I'm really, really happy.
Awesome. A quick question on the sort of drop in earnings. So you said it was up to 1,200 at one point.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 200. Is that all due to the domain transfer, or what else is in play here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Amazon cut their commissions and it went down to about 800 per month at that point, so that was the first hit. But then it never got hit by anything in regards to an update or anything like that. So there was no experience there. Predominantly, obviously, the content was informational. So I was really only making the affiliate commissions on only a small section of the site anyway. And then the other side of it has been monetized with Ezoic. So I make the other part of the income from Ezoic ads. And that's continued to kind of stay steady from where it was before, to be honest. So that hasn't really changed. but it makes that overall number though. This is how I was getting to the 1200 or 800 and whatever else. And yeah, so now like I'm obviously more focused on just buyer intent articles, and I'm still publishing at least one piece of content per week, but then I might publish like 5 buyer intent articles.
Okay. So it's just sort of in limbo. There are a number of things that hit, and then it sounds like the eZoic earnings have been roughly consistent.
Yeah, roughly. I mean, it took a bit of a dive during the time when I switched the domain. Everything went down because obviously Google has to one day say, okay, this is this name with this URL, then understand it. And within Search Console, you can submit a change of site and all these different things. And I was a bit worried, to be honest, all at that point, because for me, like, you know, it's like it's a steady income and then all of a sudden it's gone, you know? So, but it's all part of the testing. And as I said, it's not the only site that I run, because I still do like a bit of paid ads and things like that. So I still do dip my fingers in all of that. And that's where I'm getting the budget and things like that to throw at all of this stuff.